right, so Tennessee Titans, huh, boys?
Yep, Tennessee Titans.
I'm big on the Titans, dude. I think that they lost Derrick Henry, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think they're going to shift their offense focus and be a throwing team. I think Will Levis is going to come out and be a god amongst men. I think he's going to become the most. He's probably going to.
Dog.
I think he's going to probably be the most improved player this year, in my opinion. I think he's got weapons now. He's gonna air that shit out.
But a comeback player of the year, I think, is gonna be Burrow. But we'll save that for another.
Comeback, but I'm saying most improved, right? There's a most improved.
Yeah, there's like a most improved, isn't there, or something like that?
Wouldn't Burrow also fall into that category?
No, because he's still performing at the same level he always does, Super Bowl level. I like I said, I think the biggest loss is Derrick Henry. Tannehill's out at this point, and they've replaced all. I mean, they've hit every little note. T'Vondre Sweat's a great addition. Lloyd Cushenberry's great. J.C. Latham, Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard. So here's the thing: like, I'm not a huge Tony Pollard fan, but when you throw to Tony Pollard, he's a dog. And I feel like, what's the other running back they have?
Hilliard.
Yeah, Hilliard can be that pounder, and Tony Pollard's just going to dump little passes and outside runs to him. Tony Pollard's going to eat in this offense.
Yeah, I like
float the ball everywhere.
I like most of the moves the Titans made this offseason. I wasn't a big fan of firing Vrabel because he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. And you acknowledged the last offseason that the reason they suck right now is because the GM screwed up. I mean, that GM, like, used a first-round pick and a guy to cut the next year. Like, it was pretty bad how, like, they lost their Super Bowl window because of just terrible moves upon terrible moves. And then a year later, they end up getting rid of Vrabel, even though he's one of the best coaches in the game. That being said, their replacement still is good, and offense is going to be the focus.
I like Brian Callahan.
I like the hire of him. I like these moves to help with the offensive line because the offensive line falling apart is one of the reasons why the Titans start to suck. I think it's gonna be like a 1-2 punch of running back. Pollard definitely needed less carries because I feel like he's not the same if he's just carrying it every single play.
Sorry, my cat just opened a drawer from behind and then climbed in.
Oh, that's great.
I was like, what's going on over here? Is my desk haunted? The drawer just flew open real quick, and all of a sudden, like, it's an empty drawer, and all of a sudden there's a cat in there. So yeah, that was a funny moment on this podcast. Keep going.
We'll see what Ridley does for receiver. I know the Jaguars we'll get to that later, but obviously the Jaguars really didn't want him back. DeAndre Hopkins is still here. So it's going to be fun to see what he does. And then
the man eats.
Can Treylon Burks eventually live up to his first round billing? That's going to be another question for them.
But don't forget about Tyler Boyd.
Oh yeah, Tyler Boyd's here too.
Yeah,
good point.
They got three. They got three of them now that are. You also put Tyler Boyd in the additions, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My source that I used for this did not have him listed as a key addition, I guess.
I think we should eliminate this source from now on.
I like what they did in the secondary, though. Like, they really revamped their corners with Snead and Awuzie. That's going to be a pretty good duo.
I like Kenneth Murray a lot, too. I think
I do, too.
That team. I think he's going to be, like, the man of that team. And like I said, Will Levis is a dog. Look at him, dude. Alpha male.
I will say that losing Ryan Tannehill, not that bad of a thing. Losing Derrick Henry may sting a little bit, but I mean, like, you're also revamping the offense to do a different style of football. So, like, it's not that bad.
To be frank, like, if this is the year you decide you need a new running back because you didn't make the right decisions, look at next year's draft class. Think of all these running backs. Donovan Edwards. You got the guy who just got arrested, Ollie
Gordon.
Ollie Gordon, yeah. You got Travion Henderson and Quinshawn Judkins at Ohio State. Both are going to go to the draft.
Yeah. Ashton Jency from Boise State's really good, too.
There's a ton of running backs.
Loaded. Yeah.
I will say that they did lose some talent, but they lost some aging talent. They
Mhm.
Yeah.
shedded the aging and they brought in some new guys. Roger McCreary last year, their nickel corner, was phenomenal. He was one of their key pieces of that secondary last year. And then pairing him with Snead and Awuzie, I think they're going to have a pretty good secondary. And then the offense is just going to be slinging the football. Their run game
Wheeling and
probably is
dealing.
gonna hit. I would say their run game is going to take a little bit of a hit, but Hilliard's not a bad option. But it's not the first running back that I go to.
But I think you look at these teams down in the NFL. You could even group the Bengals in it. They're not focusing on running backs; they're airing the ball out. So the running is like a secondary choice for these teams. They're going to be dumping the ball off to a scat back, basically.
Yeah. And I love Will Levis, even though he puts Mayo in his coffee.
That's
weird
gross.
like
But,
All sorts of weird.
Look at him; it
gross
must
stuff.
be working.
Yeah, clearly he's doing something better than we
Yeah,
are.
I mean, look at me and look at him. I don't put mayonnaise in my coffee. Just saying.
We're built different. We're built different.
Built different. I'm definitely built different.
But yeah, I mean, there's like a few ifs here. Like there is a possibility this team is competitive, and if things go wrong with other teams in the division, like they could sneak up there and enter playoff contention. But we'll see. This is gonna be a tough division because next teams we're talking about here are also gonna be pretty good.